Check. Okay, looks like the microphone levels are hitting around, well, audible, hopefully. Not too loud. Maybe not too loud. I'll turn it up a little bit. This looks better. Okay. Um, so bluearp's kind of cool, or like if you're really lazy, and I guess if you wanted to not be lazy, you could make all your own presets and stuff. But it's like having a bunch of preset patterns that you can just cycle through. It's kind of nice. Um, so I've just been experimenting with combining them and or just getting familiar with, and I find Patcher to be helpful because it's a lot of MIDI stuff sometimes that you can keep inside of here. Patcher's not helpful about having, I mean, if you use FL Studio, you know what I mean. Everything that you use inside of Patcher is like automatically stay on top of other things. Like this can be in front of this, but once I make a bluearp and have it open, now watch. Nothing can be in front of that. So that's a little annoying, but for the most part, excuse me, once you have it set up, the presets are available on parameter number 9. Uh, so you can hook that up to a CC and just cycle through. Like I can probably experiment with doing that right now. That'll be the first thing I do. Let's go to the patcher. So this is going to, you see, this is annoying because it's like hiding even the fact that, so uh, right clicking bluearp's representation in patcher, your inputs, you have parameters. VSTs have different things depending on, so if they just say MIDI CC number and or some stuff like MIDI in parameters, in parentheses, you can kind of ignore those, especially the ones inside Patcher. You're going to see 4096 added to everything. So 4096 plus 1, all of this stuff that starts at 4097 and beyond, 4240, ignore that. Like, I think, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, maybe, because like everything inside of Patcher is like kind of like it's in a virtual machine where they're tricking, you're running the plugin inside of a little sandbox, and it appears it's something to do with adding 4096. It's just shifting over a certain number of powers of 2, and then shifting back when you know, in and out of this little sandbox world so that they can have things to themselves inside here. So you expose different things in that. So I'm going to repeat this a whole bunch. You'll see this many times. That created a little red dot here. And then over here in Patcher, this is Patcher, but in Surface, I'm just going to create digits. Like, it's the rawest, barest form. You can have a knob, you can have a slider, you can have an XY, and that's like 2 sliders. You can have checkboxes. You can have a keyboard. It's like a slider with certain shape steps. if that makes any sense. But I'm just going to go with digits. Default. So, right click in the somewhere and choose grid, something you like. I'm going to choose grid 50. That gives me little snaps. And so digits 1. We can go back into map and see. Oh, wait, I didn't do anything here. Let's right click this and at least do the thing we need to do, which is right click, go to properties, say maximum value 127. That's going to be the thing that we want to duplicate a whole bunch. And once we set that parameter once, then when we duplicate it, we don't have to go do that a whole bunch because, I mean, everything else you can change doesn't really matter, but if you can only go from 1 to 10, it's not as cool of a digits as it is to go all the way up to 127 because we need it to. So digits over here is this little red dot. Hook up this red dot to this red dot, and now that means we have a thing to control whatever that thing was, and in this case I chose curve program. So we can see that list one more time, and that is inputs parameters over here. Yeah, so that's the one we want. And hey, I unchecked it. Oops. We'll do it again. Right. So this is the tedious part. We can hook that one up there once, and we can hook this thing out. And that's not at all how it needs to go because that's the most simplistic. Like, you can see at the basic what's going on here. But once we add a VFX color mapper, we need to disconnect this guy. And once we add a lot of things, it's easier to disconnect from the end here and here than it is the other way. So this the FL Studio into the VFX color mapper, what this just does is change your MIDI, the colors to MIDI channels. And you just leave it at default, it's fine. You have the first 4 are visible, but if you want to go and right click, go to outputs, events, activate all, there's all 16. And, you have to hover over them to be literally every time you use them. You must, I insist, must look up in the hint panel on the top toolbar where right now it says voice output 16. That's good. And the first one is 1, and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. Predictably. Now, over here on FL Studio, we want to have the first, no, we're fine. We just want one MIDI, but let's say we wanted a bunch. I'm just going to add MIDI port 0 here. You'll see this green output here. Inputs. Let's do another one. I'm going to do the first 4. We will have 4. We'll leave 4 because they'll be there to use. This is going to be a preset that I hopefully don't have to do too much tedious shit, and it'll be really, hopefully it'll be useful. Now, something weird happens once you, I don't know if it has to do with getting enough, like, let's say if I, well, looks like I'm going to have to do that all over again because I'm going to activate all of them and show you what happens when you have multiple rows. You see how it took quite a few to get down to that second row. This first orange one is your audio output. You might decide, well, I don't need that. Or for some reason, they rearrange. You might add one. For some reason, the rearrangement causes let's check and see what the first thing is. It's 255 is our first thing. The next one is port 0. It filled in that spot rather than move the list and shuffle every spot up one. Um, the last thing here, MIDI port 254 is not the highest port. So if you were like saying visually counting backwards and saying, "Oh, I'm almost there," and you started using the "and" as a point of reference, and you looked up, wait, what is this? And once you get a bunch of wires going to everywhere, it's like the fact they're on multiple rows in and out means the. And I don't know if you can actually zoom in very well. Like you can kind of, but doesn't it doesn't zoom in the stuff that you're looking at. It just it just positions the things. So yeah, we'll deactivate all the things. Nothing. Okay, let's add 1 or 0. And let's add 2 or 1. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, 0 is still first, 1 is second. We're cool. Like, I think you have to just be careful. Like, deleting 1 does a weird rearrangement, which means like and I've tried saving the file and reopening so I could keep working on hooking it up. But I started to do this and I was like, oh fuck. I'm gonna have to avoid that. This is enough of a pitfall. Why not make at least something on the internet recording and commemorating? Yeah. Stay hydrated. So if I'm gonna have a bunch of bluearps where let's say we have something, most predictable way to do it would be the first 4. I'm gonna have 4 channels here, and every 4 you'll see. Okay, so let's have 15 more bluearps. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this guy and just start. Add plugin. Is the letter B gonna do it? Nope. Letter B twice. Letter B 4, 5 times. Add plugin. B B B B B. Plugin. Wait, hey, wait. What are you doing over there? I'll just click it. Plugin. Bluearp. Plugin. Bluearp. Plugin. Bluearp. Plugin. Plugin. Bluearp. Plugin. Out of bluearp. Add plugin. Bluearp. Add plugin. Bluearp. Add plugin. Bluearp. I don't know how many there are, but add plugin. Why not one more just for fun? I wasn't really counting, so I'm gonna do 1 or 2. Okay. Disconnect everything here. Hook the one thing up that matters to something that matters. The rest of the stuff I'm gonna just hide over here, or we'll just say auto arrange. Oh crap! We zoomed in. Hey guys, get out of here. That was a silly way to auto arrange. What do I do to make this better? Set up to something. So it's gonna be useful if I count them maybe, or just like move them in groups. Yeah. Hey, wait. No. If that was there's a group of 3 in this guy up here. And there's a group of 4 below it. There's a group of 4 there, and there's a group of 4 there. Okay, wait. There is a group of 4 over there. Close enough. Such a weird node editor, I gotta say. It's just so... Like, normal node editors don't do this crap here. Like, what the fuck? Don't do this. Like, you should just rip off Blender's free open source one and give Blender credit or something. But anyway, so I'm gonna 1, 2. I think I'm gonna give them names. Right click rename 1. Right click rename 2. Yeah, the space will have to come back. 3, 4, 6, 7. 9. Oh, fuck. Which one was that? Hey, what? Hey, get out of my face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, I can't even believe I paid attention to all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now, I need this curve program visible on all of them. And I kind of don't want the audio. bluearp doesn't deal with audio, so those default input things don't help. I'm going to add a bunch of stuff. I'll run into that weird problem. Better do that now. Or just leave it, I guess. Even though... Okay. There we go. Just do like, what happened on my... I thought I had a button on my keyboard that right-clicked, but it's not working like that. Click IP9. Cool. Okay. Right-click. Did that work? I didn't even look, so double check. You can't move your mouse, otherwise that won't work. Right click. Right click. Maybe I'll do this one manually just for fun. Ah. Right click. Actually, no. Return. Right click. I wish that there was well, a lot of things like world peace, but like another way to do this. Hmm. I mean, actually, what I want is 10 of those physical bluearp cents, or 20, or 4, or 2. 1 would be cool, even. Here they're a limited run, so 1 is rare enough. But like a whole bunch. Okay, so my parameters are all ready to hook up, except I only have one of those things. I need to go back here and do the rest of them. So duplicate. That's deep. Okay. Get out of the way, 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 get out of the way. You're all straighten up. Go back down here. So, okay. Straighten up. It's off the bottom corner. Okay. Boy, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Okay. So here's all that. We'll just click this thing and say don't show the buttons. I don't really need the labels, even I know what they are. Let's go hook it up. What is this? MIDI output from what? What? What is this? The voice, that's the MIDI input. What is the MIDI output of the surface? Where here is outputting the MIDI. It's so weird. I don't get that green button here. So I'm going to disconnect it. Well, just to show you what I mean, look, 16 is the top thing, 15 is the last thing down here. And then the first thing is actually this digits 1 right here. So like, is there a way to rearrange them? Well, anyway, here it is. Oh, but look, now digit 16 is here. Still done the... What happens if I do this again? Huh? Digits 15 is right here, and I bet this is going to be digits 14 right here, and this is going to be... Yep, digit 16 is right here, and this is the first one on the list. So it's even getting farther and farther from... Is there a way to fix this? God. Wait. Deactivate all of them. Activate all of them. Ah, okay. 1 is in the right spot. So if that helps in any way, this is... There you go. You can stop watching now. You've learned something for the day. Okay, I have learned something for the day, so I'm going to stop watching and finish the rest of this up. Just on Robot. Here we go, robot. The first one up to the first thing. Second one, second thing. Can you figure the rest out on yourself, robot? Do I have to keep telling you? I didn't get any answer from the robot, so I'm going to assume that's a yes. I need to double check the robot's work eventually, but I'm just letting it go. But my mouse works. My mouse pad's got no crumbs on it because I hardly have any food ever to accidentally get there. And the last thing hooking up to the last thing. So I'm going to assume that that's all okay. So it's already getting pretty crazy to look at. Just have a little bit more to hook up. So the first MIDI color output, this is channel 1, the color. Where does that go? First one goes to the first thing. Now I just took all the out stuff to the out stuff and we're done. And we're gonna do like that. Green, green. Ah, what have you done here? There. Yeah. Like the only way I can figure out how to actually examine these node hookups to check them is just move it around. That looks okay. Um, and the other thing is I know better than to try and let it do the auto arrange here. I'm not done yet, though. This is where you have to. I'm going to save it, though, because I might mess up. Next, I have to double click each one of these. Click. Let's just Alt. Go. Oh, go over there. Don't come up underneath my mouse, please. Oh shit. You go over here. You can go over here. You can go over here. Yeah. Okay. So I have the like checklist of things to do here. I got to go to the gear tab on every one of them, which is just click the. You just click it. There's only one tab on the patcher ones. Takes you straight there. And oh shit! After looking, okay, number 16, 13 through 16 is going to be output port. Wait, do they care? Does the input to the I might not need to do anything. We need to see notes. Test. What do I forget? This much hooking stuff up at this particular moment has my brain like, what? And it's usually you just do the out input port. It gets the event okay. It's the output that doesn't get anywhere until you tell it to use that. And then the routing sends it to where it needs to go. So we're going to try and see if zero, this may be zero, fixes it. So the thumbs over here. I mean, I hope it was the output port I'm supposed to be doing. It'll suck if it's not. Forgot that one. Probably forgot more than one. Knowing me. Now I test notes coming out. I guess that could replace this sampler here with how about a zebra let? Their default preset isn't too offensive. And I'll choose their input. Oh, and I need 4 of them. So clone 0. Clone and then clone. So maybe we'll put number in order here. Gear tab. Right then, so we're gonna make number 3 be, or if number 1 is 0, then number 2 should be 1. Number 3 should be 2. And number 4 should be 3. Okay, so to check and see if whether the output port numbers here matter, or if it, I mean, does it follow what the graph is and it just has to be it doesn't matter? Because I know that it doesn't work if you don't say anything. But I don't know if it matters what you say, because you're also saying this over here. So what are you saying this over here for? That's very confusing. Okay, so in a roll every color. Hey, well, sounds came out. As long as sounds come out for every color, that it basically passes the test. Okay. Get rid of some of these things. Oh, see, F12 doesn't even make these guys go away. You have to manually close them. Get out here. Oh, you guys are doing that wrong. Okay. Okay, so now I just need to save this as a preset. Better than what I called it before. Well, it's called 16 channel. Okay, I'm gonna call it 16x 16x4, and then I guess see how this works where I start it up and just use it. I never used this thing over here with the presets. Like, let's see what we got here. I mean, not that kind of preset. Channel presets, plugin presets, mixer presets. It's a plugin, it's a generator, it's a bluearp, it's a, what did I just call it? Did it not save it here? Oh no, of course not. That is a patcher. Hey, what am I? Don't look that. Hey, there it is. Dude, good deal. Look at that. There it is again. So I was kind of curious to see how bad it would look when you did that. Ah, are they in order? It's not too bad. It's not the one I like though. I wish I could go back. How do I do that? Choose the preset again. Hey, wait. Yeah, there it is. Dude. Okay. That's weird. Okay. So this is like the fun part where you just kind of want to shrink it down smaller than that, I guess. But hey, maybe we'll figure out a way to use the rest of the space. What are some other parameters that would be useful besides? So I don't know how. What would be a cool way to set these parameters? Yeah, yeah. So this guy needs a. Wait, how about some labs? Labs has cool stuff. I haven't messed with any of their new stuff lately. So I'll have that and clone it 3 or 4 times. 3 times. And figure out what these guys will be. Labs. Click this thing here, and then this here, whatever you want it. And then small. Can you still read the text? Might as well make it a little bigger. And the next thing, and the next thing. So on. Whoops. Forgot to click the green thing first. Oh well. What should this last thing be? Well, I haven't listened to any of the foghorn stuff. Let's do something with foghorn. The first one will go to the first thing, second one will go to the second thing, third one will go to the third thing, fourth one will go to the fourth thing. But you know, there's another way to do that. Let's grab all three of all those guys and just go right there and go shoot with Control Shift L. So anyway, yeah. Now we got all these random patterns and numbers that are just going to make random sounds come out. We have to give it something in key. It treats the different numbers are going to treat the key differently, so it might not all sound in key, but nevertheless, find out what happens if we say, let's just pick a chord progression like a 1-4-5 or a I don't know, standard rock and roll like that. Well, I'm not getting any sound out because let's see how many trillions of things had to happen. Oh, we all forgot to tell these guys to be on their MIDI ports. Gear tab, input 0. Gear tab, input 1. Gear tab, input 2. Gear tab, 3. All right, now theoretically, some of this stuff works, but still have. Oh, maybe I'll just have. What do we got? The first one is piano. Let's give it some piano-y type reverb. They got one called piano body. And then second one is what was that? Guitar stuff. Let's run it through some more. Nothing. Just how about a compressor? With really weird settings on the compressor. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just adjusting knobs. That looks good to me. So what's the third thing? It's some other weird kind of a. It's some weird instrument, and it's going to have some echoes. Plus some of that. Yeah, just echoes or a big long verb. There we go. And that's all wet and no dry, so I need to use wet dry over here. I want it about like that. This one, as it's dry and wet here. You need to give it some notes and some numbers. Now watch this. Hey, that's percussion. What are you doing there, bud? How did you find drums? This one gets reset to drums. Oh, it did, because when I didn't choose anything, did I? What is what's a bass chant? I can't hear it very well. How about a sausage fattener or an aught or something? Okay, the next color. Hey, the next color. Let's pick a different number. Down. Wait, across. Oh dear. No, it's down. That was green. Green. Greenish. Yeah. What happened at the end of your stop? You just don't have any more. Okay. What's the first one? The second one is nothing. Third one is looks like a pass-through. So you don't have to make your own pass-through. You just set it to number 2. And then 3 is. This is all particular to just this particular preset, mind you. You can make it however you want. I'm just using their default. Kind of like. Is that what I'm observing? Ah, okay. Alright, what's the next color? How about just a bunch of random numbers? Woo! Random. So maybe a couple small boosts, like random. Yeah. Random. That's not really random if I always just drag it the same way. Let's see, go like up, down, up, and then up a little bit more, up a little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. So maybe like change the tempo to, should be faster or slower, or just exactly the same, a little bit faster. Other thing is, some of the presets like more numbers of notes at the same time. They only really work with one note, but that only makes them sound rhythmic, like with one note. They just they skip out the other note, so it's like a rhythm. snare thing as a bass doesn't really exactly seem sensible. So maybe I'll choose something other than just the first random thing. What do you think? Do you have anything? Hey, they even have a bass guitar section. Let's just choose a classic bass with an amp. Yeah, so what one is this one even? It is not making any sound because 4 is the ancient foghorn. Maybe that just doesn't. Yeah, doesn't have any attack. It'd have something that you can hear. Regular old piano. What the hell? Okay. Maybe it should be better a little bit slower. How about half speed? See, well, it's a fun experiment. I mean, because you just like basically start mixing. It's just colors. You just make a chord and change colors, and it's kind of like doing your arrangement or so with anything showing. It's not normal in FL Studio terms by any means. It's breaking out of the FL Studio standard workflow pretty heavy, but they do give you the tools to do it. So it's like if you want to make something like that, it's up to you. This is just an example. Yeah. I don't know what the rest of the point of streaming any of this would be. So I don't think I'm going to do it.